So instead of, the interesting thing is they can flex it depending on what they're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can we still don't really know.
Yeah. Yue has shown to be a great Navaria, but so has Renegade as a roam Navaria. So it just depends here. Our roamer pickup here for Geek Fam. Thinking they can still slot into Ruby for a little bit of surprise, displacement. They have 2 frontliners already. They might even go for a bit more utility for Boloyski. It's interesting, the Matilda's actually still wide open. No one's taking it out.
That's what I was going to say earlier, right? Yeah. It's kind of weird that Matilda just kind of slips through, but that's the adaptation, right? So far up to this point, now that we're in Knockout 2, what is this last pick for Boloyski? What does he want to go ahead and roam with? I would assume it's a little bit more on the tankier side to kind of extend some of these fights. You already have a Valentina to help you out. Well, Ruby.
There goes the Ruby.
Ruby comes through. So, great pick-off potential.
Yep. Great
Usage. We've seen this before with Boloyski, a signature hero pick.
It's definitely going to be the only thing about the Ruby is Novaria is going to be troubles. Even the Wanwan's going to be hard to catch. A lot of those things are going to be down to Luke here to be able to dive into the backside. You know, the jobs are definitely going to get divided here between the team.
True. Maybe it's just not because I'm the best R-Lot player in the world. I'm okay with it. But when I see a Ruby in the other team and I'm an R-Lot, I'm so worried. Because one quick little second skill from the Ruby will just completely break my tempo. And if it comes alongside a pull as well, then me, R-Lot, being annoying, dashing around, going everywhere, I'm not going to be able to do that. But then at the same time, the way Geek Fam play with this Ruby, they just have an understanding to it that is unparalleled.
Man, as we get loaded up here, I think we're still going to take a look possibly at the comparisons of these drafts, but you got to admire that right there. As once again, both teams kind of getting situating. You can see the lineups one more time across from it. But hey, it sounds like we're going to be jumping right into the game. And it starts off here, game number 1 in the best of 5, knockouts 2 between Geek Fam from Indonesia and Blacklist International from the Philippines. Who starts off on the right foot?
Yeah, so you see here, actually, they put a little assistance there, Yue and Renegade, on being able to clear that purple buff for Sensui a little bit faster, just so he can match up to the clearing and rotating speed of that Baksha. I'm going to be interested to see who's going to be a little bit more heavier to commit into that Little Wander, and the Blacklist are going to commit their second or third turtle signature lane switch. I'm already thinking a little bit ahead, but that's something the Blacklist International does for the early game. That's part of their play style.
So Yue already taken a lot of aggression early on against a boy, and in a way, I feel like a boy is even someone that kind of falls under the radar a little bit with a lot of these just star players so far that you're seeing kind of unfold here, build their own kind of legends in their own right. But so far, as things kind of unfold, right, anything emblem-wise that stick there on cue. Anything that sticks out here, Renmar?
Well, actually, you're seeing the EXP laners now doing a very popular thing, picking up Rupture. They really just want that instant gratification already for the early game, the damage that they can dish out. So these two teams are going to be watching out for the respective EXP laners. But more importantly, so Blacklist International need to watch out for Luke, because if they allow him to just freely hit his ultimate, those 3 strikes are going to surprise Blacklist, and next thing you know, they're going to be forced to go back.
I think as we take a look at this too, kind of things unfold, it's just leading into that first objective. This is one of those games, one of these teams that they take it slowly, right? Lead into these objectives. We already saw the breakdown between the Lord takes. Now, again, you're against Sensui. You have to be able to go ahead and take on this turtle dance later on. But look at him topside.
We'll have Marky with the 1v1 right now. Blazing duet. First blood for Marky 2 minutes in. Turtle pit still going on, though.
Wow. So with that, Geek Fam's going to get the first blood. They force out a flicker from Edward.
Oh, another one. Geek Fam popping off quick in the first few minutes.
Well, this is what we're talking about. Number 1, you got to be stone cold in this series. You can't be a little bit too eager, just like what Oheb showed there. Market hit level 4 just in time, but now there's an invade by Geek Fam.
Geek Fam taking the orange buff. Sensui going to be denied of that. We're literally 3 minutes in, and this is something I was a little bit worried about. Blacklist does have a very soft mid-side for the laning phase. Geek Fam are going to be able to punish that if they want to.
Yeah, you mentioned it, the key thing, that very squishy, double major support style of Rome and mid duo. When you're up against a Valentina and or Ruby, you saw there actually in the bottom lane, in the EXP lane of Edward, how a simple 3-man rotation by Geek Fam sent Blacklist International back, forced Sensui to reset the turtle, and the fact that OHEB lost the 1v1 to Marky, now going all the way back to what happened in the bottom lane, Blacklist just had to give up control of that turtle and they couldn't contest, but that also meant they were susceptible to getting invaded because Geek Fam are confident to do that with the turtle shield buff.
This is crazy, right? Geek Fam, they're playing at a different tempo than what we've seen at least previously. So even a boy with this, he's going to be fine. He has the heart guard himself here to work around. Takes a couple shots, but this lead so far that Geek Fam has garnered themselves is going to transition really well. You see Marky already picking up the DHS. Niall going to go into
the hunt right now.
Okay.
OHEB up against Marky once again. Heart guard comes just in the nick of time, but Geek Fam are not done yet. They're going to push under the tower. Bloisky with the I'm offended, and OHEB goes down. It's 3-0, 4 minutes in. Geek Fam controlling the game.
And now Geek Fam with a great understanding of the priorities of Blacklist International in the map. 4th minute, 4-man gank onto the top side to get another kill onto OHEB. And right now, for our international viewers, you're seeing the reason as to why Marky has been hailed as the gold standard. He has been the mentor for gold laners in the Philippines.
I thought Bloisky stole that for a second. He tried.
Yeah.
They're just going to keep putting the pressure right now. This is going to be most likely Turtle once again going to the hands of Geek Fam. They have this lead. Luke's feeling pretty good, and they'll take it. So another objective taken. So where does Blacklist International start to put the pressure on, knowing that now they've given up these 2 objectives? They're playing at this tune of Geek Fam. What do they focus on here, Renmar?
At some point, they're going to have to call for a switch or maybe just give up 1 turtle and just gank a lane altogether, maybe 4 or 5-man dive alongside OHEB to give him a little bit of a lead already. Because right now, Geek Fam are just controlling every turtle or wherever Luke is. Again, the difference between the Lapu-Lapu Arlot matchup, the XP lane right now, for Geek Fam is just a little bit more, how do we say this, proactive around the map. And it's really affecting the turtle or objective focused playstyle of Blacklist International.
You know, normally I would say that this isn't the end of the world for Blacklist.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is one of the things that Geek Fam has done, it's not like they got 3 of these kills onto Sensui or the Roma Renijay. They get 2 of them onto OHEB, which is huge for Geek Fam. Blacklist might try to get another one here. They're going to try to work on this tier 3 on the top side. OHEB will get caught. Heartguard comes in terrified, and he's taken out. Renijay forced to back off, and Geek Fam take the first tower of the game.
So that's tough. You know, you were just talking about OHEB, how he had those 2 deaths. Now he's got 3. He's kind of just shut down right now in this lane. So this is what it transitions to, right? You have to be able to build back up. It's good that you got that purple, but you know, with that, again, your gold lane is struggling. Look at the deficit here between the gold lane.
Yeah, now Blacklist International are definitely going to be playing into the late game. Market honestly just has free reign here, but you got to appreciate here the gusto of OHEB and the trust that he has into Yue to supply his lane with Star Shatters when needed to get a little bit more damage onto Marky. So that's a glowing sign for Blacklist International that OHEB, it doesn't seem like he's changed up his aggression. Maybe he can be a little bit more careful, but it's a good sign that he's not giving up. He's not just taking it all in. He's doing everything that he can to find a way to turn it around single-handedly. So this is what we're getting now. What we talked about earlier, Blacklist with a 4-man gank, as Geek Fam are going to be committing 2 onto the turtle.
Okay, so again, focusing it. Yeah, that's another turtle. Going to the hands of Geek Fam here, 3 for 3, furthering the gold lead, 3.5K ahead now. So once again, you're 7 minutes in. You got to build something up before that first Lord comes up if you're Blacklist International. And then look at the pressure still going.
Now going to come in, another I'm offended on Sensui, going to pull him in, take him out. Bloisky finds the kill. Geek Fam going to back off. They got what they came for. That's 5-0. This is a huge lead for Geek Fam.
And I think this is now a sign for Blacklist International that especially when you're up against Geek Fam and Bloisky has one of his comfort picks and you're playing a heal or support type roamer, a squishy roam mid duo, it's gonna be difficult. And add to that the fact that the Arlot versus Lapu-Lapu right now, Luke just has Edward in check. It's no surprise that Geek Fam, with their systematic aggression, has just taken control of this game right now. They're moving like the Ford assembly line. Henry Ford himself would be proud of the of the efficiency of Geek Fam right now.
Very efficient, right? I mean, that's the other thing is you have to, we're building it up into it. They talked about this a lot in the panel leading into this matchup. It's going to be a different Geek Fam, at least from what we've seen for the previous game so far, you know, back in Knockout 1 even. And so far, it looks like they've just refined the playstyle. Again, they have a huge lead right now against Blacklist International. It's not to a point where it's dire, but
Sensui might be in trouble again, and I'm offended. Lands a mark into the back line with a blazing duet, putting tons of damage down onto Renny J, trying to find you. Flickers back, Oheb in trouble now. Baloo comes in with the bravest fighter and finds two. Blacklist International crumbling under Geek right now.
Wow, the miracle of Indonesia are making magic work right now. Away from their home country, well, for Beloyski and Marky, they're back home. They are doing so well in this lower bracket matchup, in this elimination match, completely dominating. And it looks like they've really come into this with an understanding of how they want to play and how Blacklist wants to play. And they're just taking control.
And what they're doing so well right now is they're combining, you know, their team fight, their 5v5, clean mechanics, but they're also adding the macro level. They've been attacking the off lanes. They've been suffocating Blacklist so well.
And with that, Lord taken here once again. Objectives clearly all for Geek Fam. There isn't even a single turret down just yet for Blacklist International. They're going to have to find some way, somehow, to get movement, space around the map at some point, but right now, it's just trying to catch your breath, right? Again, looking at the gold lane specifically, Oheb is just not where he needs to be to even provide. When he gets the crossbow tang off, it's most likely not going to even get rid of anybody. So still, how much time do you buy here for Blacklist?
At this point, they're going to have to buy a lot of time or punish a attempt by Geek Fam to end the game early on. You know, we've seen it happen so many times. They go into the inhibitor, they dive it, but then it just doesn't turn out well for them. Conceal play by Beloyski.
Conceal play is coming. Geek Fam decide not to overextend themselves. Another wave will be coming down the mid side. Not able to break an inhibitor just yet, but they still gain a lot of ground, and two more waves coming soon. Ooh.
Yep, the shots are starting to hurt. Beloyski's going to take that one, get back to base. Again, you're nearing that 10,000 gold deficit for Blacklist. Beloyski.
Too close.
Still playing with danger here, right?
Yeah.
Also, big item pickups here. Oh boy, just got the Divine Glaive, as if he's not already doing enough damage. You can see it, right? But there is a struggle here. And the fact, too, that Oheb is on the second of damage received, it's been a tough time for the gold lane for Blacklist.
Yeah, and I don't think Blacklist International are too surprised. Well, I'm sure they're surprised that Geek Fam dominated the game so quickly in this fashion. But I think they went into this game, especially after the draft, that they know that they're going to have to give up some mid-game, early game control. That is going to be Geek Fam's game early on, and then they'll just slowly build up and ramp up from there, try to get a counter punch. But Geek Fam respected that. They didn't allow Blacklist International to get that turnaround moment that they were looking for, especially in the earlier skirmishes. So now it's just going to be full turtle, and by that we mean full base defense as US still securing that purple buff for Blacklist International. He's been on point. I feel like at this point you can add a sound effect to the Star Shatter as it's flying. It's just going US.
Probably, right? But what he's got to do is obviously he's scaling pretty well. And as the game goes on, let's just say 5-8 minutes from now, if this is still going on, then some of that poke potential from UA is actually going to play a course in a lot of these team fights leading on, right? But right now, it's just, like I said, 10,000 gold deficit. There's the Wind of Nature being picked up. Is that the sign now, Renmar, where, okay, we can at least take a little bit of shot here to actually fight, to contest? We have a Heart Guard as well.
It's 28K to 38K, and about to get there. I think even with a Wind of Nature, it'll be a bit too risky. So at this point, Blacklist International counterplay looks good,
I mean, honestly, I feel like the only member that's honestly a saving grace is UA. He's the only one that has gone deathless so far. He's been able to farm. He's been able to use the range of that meteor to farm purple buffs, to farm some waves here and there when the rest of the team can't. Geek Fam should be able to get this Lord uncontested. Blacklist deciding to go for the upper lane, deciding to macro a little bit, and then turtle back up.
Yeah, again, they got to get some space to work around, right? Even if it's just one turret at a time, that's really where they want to focus. And as they kind of get situated here, they're going to have to defend now. Once again, second Lord of the game. You know, high ground-wise, high ground defense-wise, you can expect that Geek Fam has the tools they need and the lead they need to actually force a fight, even if Blacklist doesn't want to.
Yeah, this is what we call throwing bodies.
Yep.
Like, Geek Fam can literally just throw bodies and try to end it here. They still have to be careful, but it looks so easy for them.
Speaking of throwing bodies, a big I'm offended locks on Oheb. The hard guard able to maybe save him. He's backing up, he's kiting, he's trying to get away. They're chasing him down, but he's still able to pull it off. Oheb, avoid, flickers back in. Oheb over to safety. The Lord is coming into the base. Geek decide to switch lanes as Niall keep 2 members distracted. Who's just gonna keep home? Gonna let Oheb go back. This might be the end for Renegade. The Lord is gonna crash in. Geek Fam ready to break through. Luke looking for that big hit onto the backside. Someone go away. Beloyski goes down. Sensui able to find him. Marky gonna chip away at the mid inhibitor. Geek Fam still backing off. They were able to take 2 towers down, still holding a large gold lead.
It ain't over till it's over. It doesn't look good for Blacklist International, but you gotta admit, what Oheb and Renegade did there may have saved the sequence for Blacklist International, buying enough time, making sure that Niall wouldn't be there, and that meant Beloyski had to be the main front line for Geek Fam in that scenario, and he falls. And a Blacklist, can they find a window to somehow break a turret, to find a few more resources to turn the game around, or is Geek Fam still gonna continue applying the chokehold?
Still a strong chokehold, right? 12,000 ahead. And once again, Blacklist International has no space to move around with. They don't even have a turret at this point, but if they can still survive some of these fights, punish a mistake, they could possibly at least get a body or 2, but look at how much Geek Fam wants.
Dive, Bravest Fighter lands on a Sensui. The stun connects and Sensui goes down. Geek Fam, don't come out just yet. This is still our jungle, but a boy gonna get caught off. 4 season winner Crunchy on Marky getting free shots. The Terrified and Edward taken out. 2 members of Blacklist fall. Geek Fam still inside of the base. A wave of minions closing in on the top side. Oheb maybe gonna get a hard guard here. Marky gets a hard guard for himself. He's gonna lock onto the base, and Geek Fam against the odds take game number 1.
A very strong showing here for Geek Fam as they come out refined and ready to go against the home crowd, Blacklist International.
They start off the series hot, stone cold. Our Geek Fam, if the Filipino fans of Blacklist thought this would be a walk in the park, Geek Fam had other plans today.
What a run.
What a run.
What a run. This is game number 1 in Geek Fam. I mean, we thought they could win, but like that, 12K gold lead at the end, and you guys talked about throwing bodies. They were literally able to do that. It didn't matter if one of them went down. With such a lead, they could just lock onto the base. A beautiful heart guard there to make sure Marky could just unload.
It's weird because, you know, a lot of people were contemplating